I first started my humble gaming woes on a laptop. A few years later, I was able to do my first, most expensive purchase ever, with my own money, a first-gen Ryzen pre-built gaming PC from CyberPower PC, codename Rhyme. Remembering that, I regret it a little bit since I didn't know you could use a plastic card, monthly payments for multiple items at once, and not just in a single package. Rhyme was upgraded over the years, and now we fast forward to this year with some inspiration and eager to improve my streaming experience. I introduce you all to Oila. Hello everyone, welcome to the very first video of Macchiato, hopefully it is the first, featuring my very first RGB character theme build inspired by Eula, Oila, as I like to call her. Setting her eyes on revenge and getting vengeance against any bad frame rate, Oila is here to sweep out any game she meets. Here I have a scroll containing the spec sheet of the machine, may as well lay it down for you. We have the 12th gen Intel 12700K Alder Lake processor with the EVGA RTX 3070 for the Win 3, all contained in the case whose wideness competes with the widest chillin in Tavat, the O11 Air Mini White. We first have the very game who contains the lady that inspired this whole build, Genshin Impact. Wait. It's capped at 60 frames. I've unlocked it for the sake of this benchmark and I'm using my alt account, so Hoyoverse, whatever you do, you can't ban me, okay? Use the tool down below at your own risk. A quick look around while gliding gets you to a low of 84 frames per second. Once burst was unleashed, we dipped a bit but went back to an average of like 90 frames. You get better performance in domains even with 3 other players with you. To the world that has turned very red. That's the name, I guess, Scarlet Nexus. It runs this game really nicely and it's one of the very few anime style games that has unlocked frames. Wow! You know, a $3 billion game definitely cannot do that because they're an indie company. Anyways, that reminds me as well, the GPU's cores are clocked at 210 MHz at 0.980 volts, if you know anything about that. And the memory at 200. Just kept it just simple, at the same time a bit more power. These settings keep it decently cooled, at the same time gaining a few frames for vengeance. Battlefield 5 may be lacking in content, but at least it is fairly competent in terms of optimization. Getting around 140 to 170 FPS depending where I look, and the lowest I've seen it go is 110 FPS. Also check this sick clip out, bro. Battlefield 2042, you know, DICE, I trusted you to make, you know, competent, at least make it playable, optimized games on your own game engine, but I guess they're saying is that you have to get a new system to be able to play their newest title. Because, you know, it's in the future. Your stuff also has to be from the future. I don't know, dude, but after changing my whole system, I was literally, like, able to play the game, I guess. GTA 5 and oh baby, oh man. This is one of the few games that I actually gained a lot of frames compared to the Ryzen counterpart. I was damn well over 100 frames driving around the 8-year-old game. And this is online, so it's less optimized compared to single player. In single player, you have to cap your frames under 180. Otherwise, you start getting bad stutters due to the game engine limitations. I just recently learned about that, by the way. Company of Heroes 1. I'd say it averages around 70 to 80 frames per second, with some action active in the map, and on this match it's raining too. Company of Heroes Blitzkrieg. Seems like it's almost the same with the vanilla version. Usually when there's a chunk of units on the screen, it's 10 to 15 frames less than what you currently see on the top left. Company of Heroes 2, the newer entry just before the newest upcoming entry, runs lower at 60 to 70 frames per second. There is a ton of new effects and it may be more demanding, but you would think it would be more optimized than the older title. I fear for what Company of Heroes 3 has to offer. Man of War Assault Squad 2. One of the laggier historic RTS I still play today. When the whole map is busy, it goes around 40 to 50 frames per second. But when I look at it with my 144 refresh rate monitor, it still felt fairly smooth. When it does get peaceful though, it shoots up to around 90 frames per second. Last but not the least, Age of Empires 4. The newest RTS game in my library. Very nice looking, graphically speaking, and well optimized too. I've seen it go around 90 frames per second. As for the reasoning for the parts, for the CPU, the 12700K, I wanted to modernize my board since my previous B450 only had one NVMe slot, and PCIe Gen 3. I went ahead and jumped over to the 12th Gen Alder Lake, and this is most likely gonna last me for at least 4 to 5 years from what I'm seeing. I also got it at a really good price. Couldn't be beat, man. The motherboard, the Z690 Tomahawk Wi-Fi DDR4. To be frank, I could have gotten a cheaper MSI Pro motherboard, but I just liked how clean this one looked. The Z690 Strix from Asus would have matched better with a white theme, but the difference between that and this board, price-wise, I wouldn't be able to have treated myself with some bottle of balls and more fans. The set of 32 gigs of RAM, as some of you might have guessed, I only got it because it was for vengeance. The Galahad 240mm AIO was praised highly by Gamers Nexus, and the pump has a clean look to it. Hopefully either it may have an LCD upgrade in the future or Lian Li is planning to do an LCD version of their own. Now look, my older power supply was actually good enough, but it was a hecking long boy, and it made cable management a real pain in the ass. It's most likely why my build time got reduced to half, from 10 hours to 5 hours. The EVGA 850p6 looks quite compact, but still does pack a decent amount of power in it. The extension cables are from Asia Horse. I've tried one from Formula Mod on their Amazon page and they were quite thin. Made training the cables look weird, like flimsy. Finally, the backplate and the support bracket for the GPU are from V1 Tech. Official, sources, screenshots, you would say, of the game, because I couldn't afford an artist to do an original artwork. Maybe next time, okay? Overall, I really love and enjoy this build, and I'm hoping to make full use of it. Whenever a game utilizes all the parts properly, oh, that gives me the good vibes. even when I died like 100 times in game. If you've come this far, thanks for watching, and thanks for checking out this fresh channel. I had an idea for another theme build, but right now I would have to sacrifice Oila to get another build going. And I don't really want to do that because I got the GPU and CPU at a pretty damn good price. I hope I can finally do something consistent with this channel, and I'm hoping to do it more casual because the serious kind of type just isn't my thing. So look forward to that. That's all. You all have a good one and stay safe out there.